Let's throw some jabs.
The fight starts now!
All right, Sergio, Bam Rodriguez upped his record in 2022 to 3-0 with his win over Israel Gonzalez. Bam Rodriguez has been something of a legend killer at 115 pounds, beating Carlos Cuadras, knocking out Srisakat Sorrungvisai, and now adding Israel Gonzalez to his list. It is a very competitive field this year for Fighter of the Year. Is Bam Rodriguez now the favorite?
100%. I think you have to give this kid his due for taking the big challenges against two of the four kings, beating them down. That speaks volumes right there. So hands down, Fighter of the Year is a 22-year-old prodigy and champion in Bam Rodriguez.
I think he is the favorite right now. But I think that can change in 2 months, right? Because in early November, we are going to get Dimitri Bivol against Zurdo Ramirez. And if Dimitri Bivol beats Ramirez handily, you have to say that a win over Canelo and a win over Zurdo, an undefeated fighter, a former champion, would put him in the driver's seat.
I would hate to be a voter, and I would hate to, be a part of that and have to choose sides, but I'm still going to go with this 22-year-old young champion. I mean, the youngest champion in boxing, and you have to give credit for him doing what he did, biting off more than he can chew, not being intimidated by these four kings. He already took 2 down, 2 to go. I think you have to give it to Bam Rodriguez, even though all these other names and fights that you said, they're the biggest in the world as well, but Bam Rodriguez.
I think the benefit Bam Rodriguez also will have amongst voters is that he's expected to fight again this year. He is going to try potentially to get a 4th win this year in December. If he gets 4 wins, and if that opponent is high level enough, there's recency bias, I get, but you might start to think at the end of the year, maybe Bam Rodriguez at 4-0 deserves that if he fights someone that's at a high level.
Hey, he's going to be doing something that we want all champions to do, to stay active, stay in the limelight, and not take soft touches. Israel Gonzalez wasn't a soft touch. He went the distance with Chocolatito, the great Chocolatito. So the fact that he's stopping guys like Sorrungvisai, I mean, that speaks volumes at a 22-year-old kid. I mean, it's just incredible.
Look, we're talking about 2022. But let me ask you one thing about Bam in 2023. He keeps talking about going back to 112 pounds. He is trying to defer to his brother, the 115-pound division, where other people are talking about having Bam face the winner of Chocolatito and Estrada. What would you prefer Bam do next year?
I think that's a smart thing to do. I think he's already taken the calculated risk at 115, a division he's not natural. So go down to 112.
Well, we can no longer say he's not natural. 3 wins at 115, including 2 of the legends. He's now a natural 115.
At 22 years old, he hasn't filled out that weight. He hasn't filled out that weight.
He's knocking guys out. He's knocking out Sorrungvisai.
That's because he's a special talent, but he hasn't even come into his man strength. He's 22 years old. He still has 4 or 5 years to go to actually get to there. So I think if he drops down and has the size advantage at 112 or even go down to 108, which they said they could do,
oh no, that's too much.
They can be a 3-division world champion.
Well, Robert Garcia's talked about him going even higher to get those titles.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference when you're talking about flyweights. They're only 3 or 4 pounds apart. It's not like when you're dealing with junior, super welterweights and super middleweights, where it's 7 to 8 pounds. So 3 pounds from 108 to 112 to 115. I mean, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, but here's the only thing I want to add to this. If Chocolatito wins in December, how do you not make a fight against Gonzalez? How do you have to, but now you're agreeing with me here. You have to make a fight between Bam Rodriguez and Chocolatito, because that fight could never come around again. That is a legacy-defining fight that you have to take. I understand, and I actually completely respect, even admire, what Bam Rodriguez is doing with his brother, being so deferential towards his brother, trying to let him carry the torch at 115, whereas he'll go back to 112. He'll fight Sonny Edwards. He'll fight all those guys in and around that weight class. But if the opportunity arises for Bam Rodriguez to face Chocolatito, I don't know how you pass it up. That is too much of a history.
You cannot pass it up, because that's a living legend that you're going to be facing. It's just kind of like when Oscar De La Hoya was at the top of his game and he got a chance at the great Chavez. You get that name on your resume. It's going to be there forever. History's going to remember that. So Chocolatito is one of the greatest fighters to ever strap on gloves. Absolutely, you want that name on your list. And if you can cross out another one of the 4 kings, I mean, you're a king killer. I mean, you got this young prince taking out kings.
I love how when we do this, you wind up agreeing with me at the end.
Well, look, if I can't convince you, I can confuse you.
I'm confused.